Hey, how's it going? This is Jason, and welcome to the Root Health Institute for Human Movement Foundational Strength and Conditioning Introduction. So, what is foundational fitness or foundational strength and conditioning? Well, it's the paradigm that the physiology of the body or the body's functioning is tiered. So, the body has individual what we call physiological qualities, and those qualities might be balance, it might be core strength, it might be cardiovascular, it might be growth strength or mobility, all those sorts of things. And so the paradigm is that some of those qualities need to be built before other qualities can be built on top of them. So a similar principle is called periodization. Now, the difference though is that periodization would focus on a singular exercise type, like let's say the bench press or something like that. And traditionally, periodization, you're going to like start off with low weight and you're going to have lots of reps and then move, the weight goes down and the reps are upside, the weight goes up and the reps go down, something of that nature. But that's all with respect to the same exercise. With foundational strength and conditioning, it goes further into saying that the exercise types, in order to train certain qualities, in order to train those different qualities, are actually tiered, so that you would start off with core stabilization. Like maybe this, for example, you might start off with core stabilization and mobility. And then you would move to balance. And then you would move to growth strength. Instead of, let's say, where periodization purely, you might just start off with a growth strength exercise like squats, and then again, start off with low weight, lots of reps, and then, move up the weight and down the reps, that sort of thing. So that's what the paradigm is. So when you're moving throughout this paradigm, you would start off on the bottom level, which is just training for health. Like, what do we have to do to get healthy? Then you'd go to what we call functional capacity, which is training for activities of daily living. And then you have performance, which is training for athletic performance. And another way to look at this would be as a road. And this road is not exactly trying to get my cursor here. So this road is not exactly straight, as you can see, and do the best job of making it curvy either. And then also you can see it's sort of like this lily pad, like think about, you're trying to cross a pond, trying to get from restorative conditioning or health all the way to this end the place where you do athletic performance, if you want to go that far. And you can see there's these kind of middle ground, these middle lily pads that, you can see red and yellow make orange. So orange is in the middle. So you're going to have all these little middle steps to go through as you're trying to get to that next level, or as you're training the body and developing the body to get to that next level. So if we're looking at the lowest level and the base level, we call it health. Or the conditioning for health, we call it restorative conditioning, because we're restoring the body's health. The main goals of this is to alleviate pain, to eliminate other chronic health conditions such as metabolic disease, cardiovascular disease, neuropsychological disease. We really want to focus on training to get those health markers to be in a better area. We want to create a foundation for further stages of development. So we are creating a foundation for the functional capacity level. And then also we just want to be able to move healthy for a lifetime. So I would say be fluid, be centered, and be strong. So when it comes down to it, if your goal is to move without pain and to be healthy, there's no need to go any further than this base level. I mean, if that's what you want to do, there's no need to go that much further. You don't need to work any more harder than in this restoration conditioning level. If you want to perform, of course, like that top level of the pyramid, then you're going to have a constant attention on this level as well, in order to avoid injury and other health conditions that impede training and performance. So example, like if you do CrossFit or something like that, CrossFit, you're doing some pretty intense, training a lot. And if you don't do equal amounts of training down at this restorative conditioning level, you're gonna have a high likelihood of creating injury. So, that's kind of what you need to do down at this health and restoration level. That's a good view of it. So to give you a further example of this, when I started training when I was about 14 years old, I started training, primarily in the weight room with barbells and stuff like that, doing, squats and bench presses and all that sort of stuff. And I developed some pretty bad back problems as I was going throughout this training. So I could lift heavy weight, but I was having problems sitting in class. I was having problems with back pain that was both recurrent and continuous. So I'd have continuous low-level pain, immobility. If I dropped my keys on the floor, I would have a problem picking them up. If I had to get something out of the cupboard that was down by my feet, I would have a hard time bending down to get it. But I could squat with 300, 400, 500 pounds on my back. I could bench press a lot, that sort of thing. And so, it took me from about 14 until about age 30 to really put together this sort of strategy that would get me out of that and to realize the full extent to where this paradigm needs to be employed. When we look at the two basic categories of physiological qualities, well, we have mechanical qualities, and then we have metabolic and cardiorespiratory qualities. On the mechanical side, we basically just want functional mobility at this point. We want to have good posture. We want to have enough core stabilization. We want to have enough mobility to be able to perform basic tasks of daily living without pain and to alleviate chronic pain. And not have any immobility when you get up out of bed. You don't want to feel like you're restricted. Your metabolic conditioning or your metabolic level of health, you want to have the ability to move for periods of time without strain, without your heart rate going way up and without shortness of breath, something like that. So you should be able to walk up a few flights of stairs without feeling like you just ran a marathon. So then we come to our middle level, which is functional capacity. And our main goal here is to have injury resilience with respect to activities of daily living. And we want to create the base for athletic performance. All right. So our mechanical goals would be the ability to perform gross movement without the risk of injury. So this would mean you could climb, you could swim, you could crawl, you could walk and run and all those things without having a thought that you're like, oh, I don't know if I want to do this today because I might hurt myself or I might be hurt when I come back from my run or something like that. You want to be able to lift irregularly shaped objects. Barbells in the gym are actually created to move efficiently. So if you need to move a box or something irregularly shaped, and then metabolic or cardiorespiratory conditioning, this is kind of a mid-level. We want to have the ability to perform, activities that may be demanded. You may have to run for the train. If you could hike 4 miles without a thought, that should be something. If you have to swim in the ocean or a lake to help somebody out, that would be something that you want to have the ability to do. So, and then our top level is athletic performance. And this one, our goals are all injury resilience related to the sport and performance, the best performance that you can provide in performance of a sport or competition. And so all of the mechanical and cardiorespiratory and metabolic goals are individual to the activity and to the level of competition that you're trying to achieve. So thank you very much. That's our intro to foundational conditioning, and I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks a lot.